You are to be aware of your individual interpreted code, and you are to measure that code against the idea of your true desire. When the code is aligned with the idea, you reaccept that code into the mind. This feeds into the total code. It affects the overall, and it affects your evolving individual interpretation. Okay, not all code is ego code. Some code is what we would call Holy Spirit or right-minded code. And in fact, the more you practice not believing your perceptions, actually the more you're going to begin to receive what we call Holy Spirit or right-minded code. Which means you'll drop a brick on your foot, and now, because you have been practicing this, right, now a different code comes into your mind. Boom, it's okay. It's okay. I know this for a fact because it happened to me. I didn't drop a brick on my toe. I stubbed the hell out of my toe about a month ago. And what was so funny, and this is a true story, it's hilarious. What was so funny is my toe, it hurt so bad. And I looked right at my toe and I said, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay. It's okay. It's okay. And that toe was fine. What I didn't know, and this is the funny part of the story, is that I had stubbed 2 toes. And the next morning when I took off my sock, I noticed that the toe I had spoken to, the little toe, was fine, but the toe next to it was black and blue. And I just started laughing because I hadn't told that toe that it was okay. And so I told it that it was okay, it's okay, and actually by the next day it was okay. The black and blue had completely disappeared. But the point is that the code that came into my mind, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, was a different code than would have come into my mind 3 years ago. It's a completely different code. And the reason a different code is coming into my mind, and this is happening to me all of the time now, I'm absolutely amazed at the code that comes into my mind now, because it's so different than the code I would have received at an earlier time. But the reason different code is coming into my mind automatically is because I've been practicing my choice perception of whatever did come in, right? And I've been, as we're going to learn, raising in vibration. And as you raise in vibration, you actually receive a different level of code. So in other words, with time, as we perceive it, the automatic thoughts that come into your mind, the automatic reactions change. But they change because of the way you choose to perceive what's happening now. So let's say you're at a lower level ego place now. That's just where you're at. And every time something happens, you swear and blame. You swear and blame. Well, that's pretty much a loop you're caught in. So when something happens, you're going to swear and blame. But if you can immediately recognize that as code, choose not to judge yourself, and choose not to fully believe it, and if you do that every time it comes into your mind, the swear and blame, just look at it, don't judge yourself, remember its code, choose not to fully believe it, you're actually going to start rising in vibration. And with time, swear and blame will no longer be what comes into your mind. You will start to receive a Holy Spirit code or a right-minded code instead. And of course, when that begins to happen, that's code you do want to accept. So when the thought comes into the mind automatically, all is well. Even though, you just looked and you noticed that the stock market crashed. But the thought comes into the mind, all is well. That's when you do want to believe and accept the code. So really, this teaching is no different than discernment, except it's a little more technical. But it's telling us that when an ego thought comes into the mind as a part of the code, not to judge ourselves for the ego thought, but choose not to fully believe it. Choose not to take it so seriously. Remember, it's an illusory code. Remember, you couldn't do anything about it. That thought just is what it is, but don't buy into it completely. Buy into it as little as you possibly can. But as you begin to rise in vibration and spirit code begins to come into your mind, be grateful. Accept that. Follow that thought. Yes, agree, all is well. Okay? So you are to be aware, this is discernment, you are to be aware of your individual interpreted code, and you are to measure that code against the idea of your true desire. He's teaching discernment. When the code is aligned with the idea of true desire, which is of course the idea to awaken, to be only love, to know our truth. When the code is aligned with the idea of your true desire, re-accept that code into that mind. Yes, all is well. I accept that code. You re-accept it. You see it and you re-accept it. And this feeds into the total code. You're helpful to everyone. It affects the overall, and it also affects your evolving individual interpretation. You continue to rise in vibration more, and you are going to experience more and more right-minded or Holy Spirit code as natural reactions. The thing about the code is that we have to start where we are. We can't change where we are. I'll say that again. The thing about the code is that we have to start where we are. We cannot change where we are. Remember, whatever is coming into your mind, whatever automatic reactions, feelings, thoughts you're having now, those are the automatic reactions, feelings, thoughts you're having now. You cannot change that, but you can choose how to perceive it. You can choose to believe it fully or not. You can choose to judge yourself for it or not. And if you're at that lower level vibration, that ego vibration, those ego reactions are coming into your mind, the or not, choosing not to believe it completely, is what's going to result in new experiences and you beginning to rise in vibration so that you'll begin to hear a different code, what we call Holy Spirit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and what we'll do is we'll just continue this message next week. I have a recommendation, and of course it's completely up to you whether you accept this recommendation or not. But I will tell you that this message was so helpful to me because I practiced it, and because I practiced it as consistently as I could. I had hate thought after hate thought after hate thought come into my mind, rapid fire, so I know you can do it under rapid fire. And I would look at those hate thoughts and say, this is only code. And as soon as I said this is only code, I was not believing it fully, right? And within weeks, the rate of those hate thoughts began to slow amazingly. My entire experience began to change. So my recommendation is you go ahead and spend this week with the few paragraphs that we've gone over and start practicing this in your life with whatever's coming into your mind. Remember, we are talking about non-judgment of your automatic reactions. And we're choosing not to believe your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences fully. Remember, it's just code. And remember that you can't change the past. You can't change what happened a second ago. Don't judge it. What you can choose is your perception of it.